All right, welcome. Today, we're going to take a journey back in time to explore the absolute astronomical genius of the Maya. This was a civilization that could read the secrets of the cosmos, not with high-tech telescopes, but with brilliant math and a really deep personal connection to the sky above.
You know, this quote from a modern Maya archaeologist just hits the nail on the head. For the Maya, the heavens weren't some distant, abstract thing to look at. No, they were the blueprint for life itself. It was this divine clockwork that guided literally everything, from how they built their cities to when they planted their crops.
Okay, let's just let that sink in for a second. With no modern tech, relying only on what they could see with their own eyes, patiently recorded over centuries, the Maya figured out the length of the solar year with almost unbelievable precision. I mean, we're talking a few seconds off from what our satellites tell us today. That achievement alone puts them right up there with the greatest astronomers in all of human history.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth was this possible? Well, the answer isn't just one single thing. It's this incredible combination of a unique mathematical system, super detailed observation, and a worldview that saw people as just one part of this huge cosmic dance. All right, let's dive into the foundation of their astronomical skill. And it wasn't a piece of technology. It was a language, the language of math. And honestly, it was as elegant as it was powerful.
Their entire system was built on just these three simple symbols: a dot for 1, a bar for 5, and a stylized shell shape for 0. That's it. It's thought these probably came from the actual items they used for counting: little pebbles, sticks, and shells. So simple, but profoundly effective.
Now, where we use a base 10 system, probably from our 10 fingers, the Maya used a base 20 system. And the logic is just beautiful. They probably counted on both their fingers and their toes. This base 20, or vigesimal system, was the engine that powered all of their complex calculations.
And here is the real game changer: their use of 0. This was absolutely revolutionary. Think about it. Plenty of other advanced civilizations, like the Romans, they didn't have a true concept of 0. For the Maya, that shell symbol wasn't just nothing. It was a critical placeholder, and that's what allowed them to create a system where a number's position matters, and to calculate figures that were just enormous.
Okay, so this slide shows how it all clicks together. They wrote numbers vertically, from the bottom up. So, to write the number 39, for example, the bottom level holds the ones. In this case, 19, which is 3 bars and 4 dots. The level right above that holds the 20s, so you put a single dot there for 1 times 20. You add them up, 20 plus 19, and boom, you get 39. It's a brilliantly simple system.
So they have this incredibly powerful math. What do they do with it? Well, it wasn't just for abstract problems. It was the engine behind one of their greatest achievements: a complex and deeply interwoven system of calendars, all ticking perfectly in sync with the cosmos.
You see, the Maya didn't just have one calendar. They had several, all operating at the same time. The two most important were the Tzolk'in, which was their sacred calendar, and the Hab, their civil or solar calendar. They each had different jobs, but they ran in parallel, weaving together to mark the passage of time.
260 days. This number, this cycle, was right at the very heart of the Maya spiritual world.
This was the Tzolk'in, a 260-day cycle that determined when to hold religious ceremonies. It was used to foretell people's destinies, and it was deeply connected to the cycles of life here on Earth. And what's fascinating is that its length is close to both the human gestation period and the time it takes for maize, their most important crop, to grow. It connected the sacred with the everyday.
And then, of course, there was a number that's a bit more familiar to us: 365 days.
This was the Hab, their solar calendar. You could think of this as the practical guide to life. By tracking the seasons with incredible accuracy, it told farmers exactly when to plant their vital corn crops and when to harvest them. This was the calendar that tied their very survival directly to the sun.
And this is where it gets really brilliant. Think of the Tzolk'in and the Hab like two interlocking gears of different sizes. Because they're different lengths, a specific date, a combination from both calendars, would only line up and repeat itself once every 52 years. This created a grander cycle, called the calendar round, which basically marked a full human generation. Reaching 52 years old was a huge deal. It meant you had the wisdom of a true elder.
So, with this incredible mastery of math and time, what did the Maya do? They didn't just write it down in books. No, they built it into the very fabric of their cities. They literally etched the sky into stone.
You have to understand, their cosmic knowledge was the operating system for their entire civilization. It allowed them to plan their agriculture with precision, ensuring they could feed everyone. It dictated the timing of every sacred ritual. It even allowed them to predict terrifying and powerful events like eclipses. And, most visibly for us today, it guided the hands of their architects.
And maybe the most stunning example is El Castillo at Chichen Itza. Twice a year, on the spring and autumn equinoxes, the setting sun casts these perfect triangular shadows down the pyramid's main staircase, and it creates the illusion of a massive serpent slithering down from the heavens. This is not an accident. This is a breathtaking solar clock built of solid stone.
And for anyone who thinks that might just be a coincidence, well, there's El Caracol, also at Chichen Itza. This round building, nicknamed the Snail, was a purpose-built astronomical observatory. Its windows are not random. They are precisely aligned to track the movements of celestial bodies, especially the planet Venus, which was hugely important to them for predicting war and planning rituals.
You know, these incredible achievements are more than just ancient science. They represent a profoundly different way of seeing the world and our place in it.
And this, right here, might be the most profound difference of all: how they saw time itself. We tend to see time as a straight line, right? It's a resource we spend and you can never get it back. For the Maya, time was a circle. Grand cycles just repeated endlessly. The world didn't have an end, so much as a constant rhythm of new beginnings. They didn't just measure time, they saw themselves as part of its infinite repeating pattern, just like the sun, moon, and stars.
Which kind of leaves us with a final question to think about. In our own linear, hurried race against the clock, what ancient wisdom about connection, about cycles, and about our actual place in this vast cosmos might we have lost along the way?